My name's Anna Irish. I'm a sophomore at HSC High School. I do track, cross country, and swimming, but for track, I mainly do 800, 400, 4x8, 4x4, 1600, a little bit of that.
Okay, so you haven't really had a chance to have a whole lot of high school track experience.
Yeah, I've only had 1 year, but it was a good year. So
And what made it so good?
I don't know. It was just a lot different than junior high. So it was definitely more fun because just the team's great. So just that high school experience.
um, got you interested in track and field.
I've been doing track for a while. I've been doing it since I was like 7 years old, and I just got into it because both my older brothers did it and my younger brother
Mhm.
did it, and we just all did it as a family, kind of. So yeah,
Who would you say is one of your biggest inspirations? So you talk about your brothers, it's like everybody in the family did it. So would somebody from your family be an inspiration, or it could be a celebrity, or
my older brothers they just kind of did throwing, and I'm long distance from there. But my mom's always been she did track when she was younger and swimming and cross country, so I just kind of followed her lead, and
Mhm.
yeah, she's always helping me.
Yeah, now, being a three-sport athlete, you have to have an opinion on, well, you don't have to, but you may have an opinion on when it comes to like natural talent versus hard work. What are your thoughts on that in terms of yeah, just like what's more important, natural talent or hard work?
Definitely hard work because natural talent just kind of gets you there, but hard work just like sets you apart from the rest. So you just gotta like show up and
Okay. Now, with you being on, you're on several teams here, right? Cross country, swimming, and track.
yeah.
What would you say makes you a great teammate?
I just try to be as nice as I can to everyone and I try to like welcome the new freshmen this year and then just like be nice to everyone and we all get pretty close during the season. So it's just kind of like we're all great friends and
You lettered in all three sports?
yeah.
That's an impressive talent. As a
Thank
freshman, like most freshmen
yeah.
don't, and you're not at a small school by
Mhm.
any
No.
means. So
Mhm.
that's pretty impressive. What do you think, so far in your short career in terms of high school, what would you say is probably the best advice anybody's given you?
I don't know. Sometimes I just like learn and pick up things from everyone. And I've had a couple coaches tell me like you just have to have fun with it and you can't stress out too much about the short-term stuff. You just got to focus on your goals.
So what's been your favorite memory?
From high school, going to state with the team was really fun. They made it a great experience and it was just like we all rode on the bus together and it was just a fun experience and then we got there and everyone was just super excited and I didn't run there but I got to watch and experience it firsthand and it was really cool just to see the team come together at the end of the season and show what they've been doing all year.
Yeah. Now, you did mention your goals. What
Mhm.
would you say are what are your goals for this upcoming season? Maybe one or two.
My goal would to be running at state this year because last year I was an alternate and I was on the 4x8 alternate team, but this year I'd hope to be on that 4x8 team because it just looked really fun.
Or how do you prepare for competitions?
Usually the night before I like to get Jimmy John's. That's like my go-to pre-meet meal. And then sometimes I do those little leg if I have school before a meet, I'll just like focus on school and not try to worry too much about it. And then once I get at the meet, I just like focus the whole time.
With being a multi-sport athlete, how do you keep yourself physically together?
Mhm.
It's really hard because with the sports I do, they're all in different seasons, but I only get like the weekend break. But I just try to like enjoy the end of the season and then go back and go into the next season. And then of course for summer I get a couple weeks off until cross country conditioning, but I take the break and I enjoy it well. So
Okay, and speaking of the summer, you know, you, I know you competed in the steeplechase, and that was like a
mhm.
summer thing.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us a little bit about that experience, what you thought about it, how was it for you?
I really enjoyed doing steeplechase when I didn't do it this past summer, but I did do it the summer before and it was fun to learn. It was different, of course, because you had to do the distance, but also I had to like learn hurdles, which was completely new for me and I was pretty scared, but it was fun. So,
Well, that's good because it's not a normal hurdle. If you hit that hurdle,
no.
you're going down.
Yeah.
Into the
It's not going to
water.
be the hurdle going down. It's going to
Yeah.
Right, right.
well,
What
that's
would
good.
you, and what would you say it has been one of the most challenging aspects of being a track and field athlete?
The most challenging is probably just like waking up every day knowing you're gonna go practice and do a hard workout on the hot track, but just like knowing that you've done it before and you can do it again, and it's just you're just only gonna get better if you keep doing it.
Mhm. And with that, waking up, it's like you have school or you have, you may have different things that you have in the morning and stuff like that. So how have you been able to balance, especially, you were in multiple sports, but how do you balance being a student and an athlete?
When I'm like at school, I'm just focusing on school, and then like I try not to think and like mix the things together because then you're just gonna get nervous for something you don't need to be nervous about. And then when I have practice, it's like all about the workout, and it's just focusing yourself and your team and knowing that you and your teammates can get through it together, and you're just gonna have a great time after it.
Is there a particular like routine or ritual you all do to keep yourself focused during those long practices?
We don't have like a routine, but usually like I know we do like a set of like 12 400s, and if we're like with our groups, there's always someone who's just like, we got this. This is fun. Like one down, 11 to go, but it's just like usually
Mhm.
there's music playing on the field too, so that
Oh,
kind of helps me
nice.
going too.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel your experience as an athlete will transfer it when you become an adult or when you go off to college and eventually transition into your career?
I know it's gonna like just help me be more active when I'm older, and I hope to run track in college. But I just know that it's gonna like give me great memories, and it's just gonna like help me be more competitive in what I'm doing and also just like enjoying it.
Well, and speaking of competition, what's your take on competition in the classroom? Not necessarily competition, but academic performance. What are your thoughts on?
It's very different than competing in like on a track than in the classroom, but I try not to compare myself to other students. I know it's just like because it's not like a race or anything, but I always try to get the best grades and I try to study as much as I can and hope for the best. And then I'm always with my friends studying and we're always just helping each other out, but it's never like a competition like it is on the track.
Nice. How do you balance your like in the classroom you want to get the best grade on the track you want to do have the best performance. How do you balance your personal goals with team goals?
I know that like if you PR in an event and then your team doesn't do so great, it's kind of hard to be happy for yourself, but you just got to remind yourself that like yeah, it's like personal for yourself and you can be happy, but also just like read the room and know that maybe other teammates didn't have a great race, so you got to like support them. And then if you have a bad race and your team does really well, it's hard to be happy for your team, but just know that you will have better races and that in order to have good races, you're going to have bad ones too.
Yeah, you won't know the good unless you have some bad in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's kind of how
Absolutely.
that works. Now, you come from, like you said, you have two older brothers who participated in track. You have a younger brother that participated in track. You had a dad that was an athlete, a mom that was an athlete. How do they support you in terms of what you have going on with all your different sports?
My brothers are definitely pretty jealous because they're always just like, "Oh, you can't do that," but they definitely shape me who I am. Like, because I know they're joking and it's always just like tough love, but my parents are definitely way more supportive than they are. And they're always just like, you can do it. And they always remind me, like, it's not normal what you're doing. Like, three sports isn't a normal thing. And it's just like, sometimes I forget it's not the normal and I'm doing something that not a lot of people can do. And I just like, I forget to like congratulate myself sometimes and that my family helps me remind that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's good. That's an important piece to
that's
have.
really good. You can give mom and dad a shout out, by the way.
Yes, I was.
My mom's name is Mindy and my dad's name is Dan. And then I have two older brothers, Charlie and Will, and then a younger brother, Sam.
Oh, awesome. You're representing for the ladies for sure.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the younger athletes who are either running or interested in competing in track and field?
I definitely tell them just like have fun with it and don't be too hard on yourself when you've got bad races and stuff because that's not like the overall that's not what track is about, just like getting good or bad times. It's about like the community and
With all this, the good and the bad and the stuff you're going to think about, you have these your friends that may or may not participate in the same sports. How do you balance that life out, that social life for high school with friends who may play a different sport? How does that work out for you?
most of my friends are in sports, so it's like easier when they're there. But I actually do have a friend who does all my sports the same as me, Anissa, and we always have been there for each other. And we're always just like it definitely helps knowing that there's someone else who's doing the same thing as you.
Mhm.
Anissa swims?
Yeah, she does.
Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, so I mean that's cool that you two are definitely like a different breed in terms of athlete.
Yeah,
'Cause
for
yeah, I mean there's I've been fortunate enough to watch you grow and to see you kind of develop as an athlete, especially in track and field, which has been impressive, which is why we asked you on the show. Because we have a lot of expectations come this spring. No pressure.
Hmm.
No pressure.
pressure. No pressure. But speaking of, what are you looking forward to this year?
This year I'm just excited to see like how much I can improve with an extra year of like high school training because high school training is definitely like way different than junior high training and it's just amazing how much you can improve after just 1 year and I'm excited to see what 2 years can bring.
Yeah, that would be yeah, really good to see. What type of what have you experienced thus far that's kind of got you excited? I mean, I know you went to the state meet, but I think your team was the one that like won nationals in the 4x8. Yes?
Now, oh yeah, for indoor, I think
For
they
it
won the
was like the
is it
Nike meet
distance medley
maybe.
relay?
Oh, we said
What?
what was it? What was it? Oh, I thought it was a 4x8, but was it something else?
We got third place in the 4x8, which is still amazing, but we
Yeah.
Oh,
didn't
very,
win
very.
for
Oh,
No, but third is good.
yeah, top three in the
yeah.
nation. That's
That's
nothing to sneeze
that's.
at. Yeah, yeah. Man.
She said it wasn't.
Yeah, but well, we didn't win. No, you were there though.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Big deal.
So tell me about what role nutrition plays in your training. You put a lot on your body. How do you what role does nutrition play? How do you maintain it? What else goes on there?
My mom definitely plays a really big role in that. She's always on me about like protein and getting everything in, and she just really like I don't think about it as much as she does, but she's always I try not to do too much bad food, but she's definitely like play a big role in that.
Mm, yeah, Coach Ware's lighting up on the good nutrition for sure.
Well, yeah, and her mom takes her to the chiropractor every week.
Oh, awesome.
Most weeks when she comes on her own sometimes. But
And how do you celebrate, right? We talked about like you've been able to navigate adversity, but yeah, how do you celebrate when it's like job well done? I did good today.
Usually the whole team goes out to like Culver's or something and we just all
Okay.
have like it's just really fun. Like those are my favorite memories, just going out to eat after good meets.
if you well, you compete in other sports. I was gonna say if there was another sport that you can compete in outside of cross country swimming and track, what would it be?
I've always wanted to play like volleyball or something just because I'm pretty tall and I feel like if I started younger I probably could have been decent at it. And I always liked playing beach volleyball and me and my brother used to pass the volleyball around. So it's just probably like I've never been really like a baseball or softball type of fan, but volleyball always sounded fun.
What would you say that probably the most unexpected lesson is you've learned from competing in track and field?
I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to like I never really expect to like learn some like I expect to learn new ways to work around track, but I've never like not been expecting things. Like I've always been ready to like learn new things and just go along with what other teammates have said and just go along with it.
And sort it out, huh? Okay. Well,
Yeah, and
they say the lessons come in the losses. So, have you learned anything in any of your in the losses in terms of not just track, just in general?
Definitely like after you lose, like if you lose a big race or if you didn't do as well as you thought, or you're just like a lot of people did good and you didn't, and it's just hard to be like happy for other people, but you're just hard on yourself. You just gotta like remember that you've been better and you've it's not gonna keep going down. Like eventually you'll pick yourself back up and it'll just get better from there.
if you could change anything about track and field, what would it be and why?
I really like track, but probably just like the hot workouts after school. Those are not always, those are not very fun.
You want to be in a dome,
With the air
indoor,
conditioned.
full 400-meter indoor track.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. I know it's you've only had one season under your belt. What would you say is like, how do you handle the pressures that come along with competition?
Like how other people do when it's like you can't do it, you know? Or it's
Mhm.
like they don't know what you're going through, so it's not like they can judge you and you can't let that take impact on you.
What about your definition of success?
My definition of success is reaching those short-term goals and not always like your best race, but like how you felt about that race and if it went how you planned and if you stuck to your goals and if you just had a good time, like that's success to me. Not always winning or being the fastest, but completing and accomplishing your own goals.
What values do you think help an athlete to kind of stand out maybe more than others?
To know that it's like you've been here and just always being positive and knowing that people believe in you and that you should believe in yourself and just having fun. Like I feel like you can't enjoy the sport unless you have fun sometimes.
Right on. Well, Anna, if people wanted to follow along with you, follow your career, since it's still early in this career, what would they, how would they follow you? Where would they go? Instagram, Twitter, or
Instagram
X?
probably. My name's just Anna.Irish with an extra H. I don't post as much track content, but maybe I'll start doing that.
I think so.
Absolutely, because we want to see you.
Right.
Want
And
to
there
know what's
may,
going on.
right. And there may be some colleges out there that want to see you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining
Thank
us.
you so much, Anna.
Thank you for having me.